What's going on, New Fighting Order? Yo,
wait.
all right, whatever. Yo, what's going on, New Fighting Order fans? We back like the Juggernaut, bitch. We're coming back to you with this new podcast for April. Yeah, these ruffians here are acting like chimpanzees in a zoo, swinging all over the damn place. They got jokes, they got hikes and all that. It's all good. LOX, what? See, look, New Fighting Order fans.
He called this set out.
Yo, let me put it to you like this. I'm losing my hair, alright? So I'm covering it up, okay? So
hold on, why he got them 3 swords back there? I'm done, yo.
Get out my background, yo.
Yo, that's the yo.
time out.
Keep going.
Yo, what the heck?
Keep going.
You know what? I'm done. You know what?
Candle that's lit? You got a candle lit?
Yeah, yo.
Yo, dude, shut up. Hold on. Hey, Nelson, do we have people on the chat?
I don't even see the chat. I don't see the chat, yo.
Oh my God, this is just a riot today. Hopefully, you know what? New Fighting Order fans. Go ahead. It's already out there. Anyway, New Fighting Order fans. These guys are just something else. This is our staff. This is how we get down. We have fun. So, just going around the table, we're actually going to talk about 2 major topics, but there's subtopics in the middle of them. Mainly, the first one, and Shinwar, Demizzle, and myself were talking about it. Nintendo pulling out of E3. So, no, what's so funny?
That's not even me. This
is entertaining, though.
Lord, he said Lord Shinzai.
Yo, Alex, you gotta spit a 16 before we log out, though.
Alright, nah, chill.
I'll try. We'll see. But yeah, Nintendo, it's a scary sign when Nintendo, who's always had a presence at E3, has put it out there that they're not going to be presenting. And this is breaking news today. Now, Shinwar had told me yesterday, and Demizzle kind of reiterated it today. So since this is hot off the press, we're trying to get right on it. Now, going around the table, I'm going to give Demizzle some time at the end so that he has a spotlight. But for Nelson, what are your thoughts on Nintendo not having something for E3 this year? Yo, what the heck is going on today? This is like the wildest podcast I ever did.
Did you say it was hot off? You said it was hot off. You said it was hot off the press or hot off your chest?
I know. I can't. You know what? Since this is live, we can't even do double takes. Like,
Chill out, yo. All right.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
Relax.
Hot off the chest, yo.
It's a rap song, yo.
You know what? We're definitely gonna get viewers on this podcast. But Nelson, what are your thoughts on Nintendo pulling out of E3 for 2013?
It's not really a shocking thing because of the fact that Nintendo's been messing up a lot lately, especially with the early launch of the 3DS. They haven't done so well in sales in the early beginning. And now with the Wii U, they only sold about, how much you said, almost over 200,000 units and had a cutoff?
And these were the numbers that Demizzle had provided for us.
Yeah, that's really not a good look for Nintendo, because in the beginning from, I guess you could say from Nintendo to, GameCube, it was actually doing well. Then after that time period, they just started crashing, so I don't know, it's not really looking good for them to pull out like that. It basically shows that either they might have either have a strategy They might either become third party or they're just like, just gonna focus on their handhelds with the Nintendo DS and just move on.
All right. Now, I'm gonna give On Your Knees the floors because he actually kept me in the fold with Nintendo for many years. Because once I felt like I kind of outgrew their material. On Your Knees it had the GameCube and all the other systems. So, Chris, what are your thoughts on Nintendo? I mean, does this spell like a sign of things to come for, which? To me, Nintendo was the top back in the day, and now it's like, man, they're pulling out of E3? Like, that doesn't seem like a good sign. But what are your thoughts, Chris?
It's definitely not good. Last I checked, from what I remember, the Wii is still outselling the Wii U, so that doesn't bode well when your previous system's still outselling by a lot. I can't find the numbers, but it's really destroying it. But it's probably going to be it'll turn into another Sega after this generation, considering they're giving away, at least the rumors are, they're going to be giving away free developer kits just to try to get more people in on it. So it's not looking good for them. They threw their money in with the new system, which was way underpowered for the current generation, and no gimmick's going to be able to save them from it unless they give deep discounts and actually can get some good software. But it's not looking good, and definitely small Sega coming on. They're probably going to switch to third-party software.
Yep.
But they did it to themselves. They wanted to be different, and they just couldn't keep up.
Okay. Yeah. Now, Shinwar, what are your thoughts on to caveat on what On Your Knees was saying about Nintendo?
Immediately when I read the article after I was done, I immediately thought Sega. On Your Knees is right. Like, they're behind the 8 ball. Like, I think it was cool for them to be different, but I just think hardware-wise, like, they just didn't want to go to the next level.
They always lag.
So yeah, I think,
always lag.
Yeah. And for them, when I read it, for them to pull out of E3, I'm like, it's always the big three: Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. And if I'm not mistaken, when I read it, they were like, it's just going to be Sony and Microsoft. And I was like, wow, no Nintendo this year. And then they were like, well, they're going to hold small events focusing on software. And I immediately thought Sega. And it's just ironic that, Sega, fell out, whatever, and now look at Nintendo. So, yeah.
And I think they put all their chips into the Wii U, which didn't have the gimmick appeal that the Wii did, that Demizzle had pointed out 2 podcasts ago, that it was just, they're riding that wave, and now they're coming close to shore, and that there's no wave anymore. There's nothing to ride. So Nintendo has to really set themselves apart from the other 2 competitors. But Brother Noop, what are your thoughts on Nintendo's current state before I give Demizzle the spotlight portion?
I am quite befuddled by the irrational decision to formally remove yourself from such a high platform. I mean, it is the mecca of gaming. This is the Super Bowl. This is the championship. This is where you get in the ring and you say, this is why you need to buy our stuff versus their stuff. This is what we got. And you decide to say, man, we're not coming. Why you're not coming? I don't know, but this is your chance. If your console is struggling, this is your time to really show the world, hey, this is why you need to buy this. Because if you're holding small events, I mean, while you're holding those small events, people are still going to be talking about E3. E3 covers all of that because E3 is everywhere. It's on the internet. It's on TV. It covers all that stuff. So I'm just, I'm a Nintendo fan for some of their games back on like Super Nintendo, and like the Zelda series and stuff like that. But as far as consoles, they might just need to stick to like handhelds or something, seriously. Because
either that or go third party, that's
Mario on
that's
PlayStation.
Wait.
Yeah, go ahead, Shinmar.
No, I just wanted to say, what if they held off the development of the Wii U and waited till this year to at least bring something to the table? Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. The Wii U is nothing but hold on. The Wii U is nothing but a second glass experience for your Wii, just like an iPad, in a sense where it's just for gaming or whatever. And that's why I think Microsoft really trumped the card where they were like, "Listen, we'll just give you an app and you can have a second gaming experience with your Xbox without buying additional peripherals." But yet Nintendo,
That's
they
right.
dropped the Wii U, which it isn't a complete different console. It's just really an add-on onto the Wii. So I just think that they could have probably held off development of the Wii U and probably could have bought something bigger and better this year.
Now,
You know what else?
and you know what? Yeah, go ahead.
You know
Brother
what's
Nuke.
funny? Like, usually when new consoles, I have not seen that much promotion for the Wii U. I have not seen many internet articles. I have not seen TV commercials. Even in the gaming stores, it's like the campaign blitz never came. It's crazy.
Now, before I give DeMizzo the floor, two things. Noob, you made a good point. Right now, if you, certain games don't really get the budgeting to have the good marketing, like Halo, Gears of War, God of War, those Class A titles. You see a lot of that. It's not like the days of Nintendo. Remember when Super Mario 3 was coming out and you had that commercial with all those kids around the world and they all wearing different colors, but they were dressed up as Mario. But then when you went to the view outside in space and you saw Mario's face in the United States, that was a kick-ass commercial that Nintendo could never top. You know what I mean? And it's almost as if it's like they're trying to light a match to get attention to their product. It's a shame that Nintendo has been reduced to this. But the bull has been in the pen. It's about to be a rodeo. And Brother DeMizzle, you have the floor. What are your thoughts on the current state of Nintendo? Here's your spotlight, buddy.
All right, before we get started here, I'd just like to give a big shout out to Rogaine. I hope someone's listening because we have 3 members here that need your product. Secondly, all right, I called it, like, from day one, I said that Nintendo is going after the wrong audience. They're trying to go after an established audience. They tried to go after those people that already own an Xbox 360 and or a PlayStation 3 without offering anything significantly different from what they already have. Like, this is literally, when you break it down, the Nintendo Wii U sales pitch. Hey, Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 fans, come over to us and play what you've already been playing for the last 12 to 18 months with our launch titles. The second thing why Nintendo failed is they just don't understand the consumer anymore. Like, they don't understand today's kids. Like, when we were kids, because presumably all of us are in our 30s, late 20s, they got us. They knew what we wanted. Like, the arcade was that new phenomenon. Like, and they tried to bring the arcade experience as close to home as possible, combined with original games. Now, our generation has grown up, and they don't know what we want. Conversely, they don't know what today's kids want, because today's kids are not like us when we were kids. It's two totally different things. True. Like, today's kids are so connected. It's like that instant gratification generation. They're just going on to the next thing, like pop, 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 pop. And it's hard to hold a kid's attention these days. You have to, like, really find that thing that will hold their attention and make them stay in the seat for longer than 5 minutes if you want to get their approval. And the last thing is, like, touching on the sales. Like, the Wii U is doing so bad. They only sold 200,000 units in North America between January and March combined, not each month, combined. So it's getting to the point where Nintendo was in full panic mode that they had to send out representatives to the major retailers to try and convince them to keep it on the shelves, because I know for a fact GameStop, Best Buy, and Target were talking about dropping price on Wii U's and Wii U merchandise to move it off the shelves because it's just sitting in warehouses taking up space, and it's just sitting in stock rooms and stores taking up space. They're not moving it at all. And as far as the Nintendo not being at E3, let me clarify something. They're just not going to have a conference. They're not going to do their 90-minute thing, but they are going to be at E3 showing off software, which is still a big blow because, as Noop said, when you have that conference, it's not only your moment in the sun to tell gamers why you should buy your product. It's also your moment in the sun to convince developers to say, hey, look what we're doing. This is what we have going on for us. This is why you should come do something for us. And they're not doing that by not having a conference. So even though Nintendo is in a good space financially due to the Wii, because it's so crazy, it's the number one selling console of this current generation, it's going to hurt their reputation with the Wii U because developers are abandoning them left and right. And they can afford financially for this Wii U to fail, but their reputation is irreparably hurt. If they do decide to bring out another console, they're going to have a hard time bringing up developers to their side. They're not going to be able to convince developers to come hang out with them and do games for them. And with the infrequency of Nintendo bringing out their own software, they can't survive on their own software alone. So they're going to be forced to go third party if they want to put out games. It's just simple as that.
Much agreed. And, Demizo, I'm going to give you some more time real quick. Noop made a good point. Okay, E3 is the Super Bowl of electronics. And it's almost as if, what you guys are confirming, that's the place that, okay, you're going to show your best. It's almost as if a company that's really trying to get out there, not putting the money out to purchase time or commercial time during the Super Bowl to get people to see your product. Nintendo's not doing enough. Yeah, do you agree, Demizo, with that?
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what an E3 press conference is. It's a Super Bowl commercial. Because everybody remembers a Super Bowl commercial, no matter how good or how bad it is. You talk about it for weeks after the Super Bowl. Fuck you, Alex. But
no.
Yeah,
this Joker texting me some wildness. All right, go ahead.
But
call him the silverback gorilla.
But it's
Donnie G Gorilla.
All right. Yeah, but
go ahead.
But yeah, it's like a Super Bowl commercial. If you're not putting the money out there to convince people why they should roll with you, you're an afterthought. Even if you hold your own little event, not that many people are going to be interested in it. Maybe the hardcore of your hardcore fan base is going to be like, oh my God, it's a Nintendo press conference that Nintendo is holding. Let me tune into Nintendo's website to catch that, but it's not going to catch the casual people. Casual people aren't going to know to go to Nintendo's website to watch a stream to see what they're doing.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So they're shooting themselves in the foot. Go for it.
Brother Noop, go ahead.
What I was going to say is this, the only way, like he said, with the small, events, if you hold, small events to let people come see it, you're going to have to be giving away Wii U's, giving away games, something to get people to come. And also what he was saying about the kids of this generation, having worked with kids before, they want to do what we're doing now. They want a 360. They want Call of Duty. They want that hardcore stuff. So my thing is this, Nintendo, if you're going to target them, you need to go back to the drawing board. This whole Wii cutesy wootsy white console and
the kitty
Mario,
shit is done.
Rayman, they don't want that. Like, if it's not on the DS, they're not talking about Nintendo. You know what I mean? And it's a very, like, right now, they're probably targeting, you're going to get a kindergartner, first, second, third. When you start hitting those fourth and fifth graders, that's it. They want a PS3, they want a 360. They're not going to want a Wii or Wii U. So if you're going to go after them, you need to take a closer look at your competition and see what they're putting out. You're going to have to change, you know what I mean, your whole aura, your whole format. Like, Nintendo's always been, like, kid-friendly, family fun. You got to stick to that because there's no in between. If that's always been your target audience, then stick to what you know.
That's Nintendo's niche. That's their niche, and their R&D guys have to go back and, like Demizo said, find out what the kids of today want. They're not like us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have a different taste, and like we're more committed to game series than kids of today. You know what I mean? Like we'll play like Mega Man 1 through 9. X 1 through 7, and they'll probably play like 2 or 3 games, and I don't want to play that no more. You know what I mean? Yep. Like it is. You have to find out what hooks these kids nowadays. You know. So, I mean, Nelson, what are your thoughts on what Demizo just said?
Well, basically what Demizo said, what Nupes said, they just have to change their whole fucking formula around because it's getting really dumb how you did well when you did the 64. You did really well. You did from all different age ranges, from like simple Mario games to GoldenEye to one of the best shooters out still, to my opinion. You have one of the best wrestling games out on that console. True. So
the best wrestling game.
You just have to learn what you've done in the past that worked out successfully for you and keep it going towards, you know, for the new generation. I understand, yes, it's all about casuals. Yes, it's all about sales and marketing towards a certain demographic, but you're losing people. You're losing your main target audience, and they're jumping on the bandwagon or going to Microsoft or Sony now, or even to PC gaming. They're just leaving Nintendo. Boom, that's it. They need to, like I said before, they need to change up their image, recycle or rehash whatever old ideas that they had, and set out forth to it. They've done a lot of fuck ups with the Nintendo Wii U because mainly there's no backwards compatibility. You can't recycle or refund the virtual store that you bought on the Wii. You can't get them on the Wii U as a transfer. You have to rebuy your content, which I think is very stupid.
Wow.
And then on top of
Sony's doing that too. And Brother Noop, I didn't mean to cut you off, Nelson. I just wanted to add on to what you were saying. Sony is doing that with the PlayStation Network content from the PS3 to PlayStation 4. Brother Noop had brought that information to me. So it's not just Nintendo going that route, but that's a bad move. That's a really, really bad move, and Microsoft should take notice.
I mean, it sounds like it sounds like it's a bad move, though. But in my opinion, if you're gonna like migrate content, or let's say gaming content that you already purchased on the PlayStation Network on the PlayStation 3 to the 4, you might be able to get around that. It might not be like an easy 1-2, like okay, link up my account on the PS4, download my history from my old shit, and put it on the PS4. You might have to save all your stuff to an external hard drive, pick it up, put it into the PS4, copy and paste it back onto the fucking new hard drive, and just let it refunnel and reinstall the license for it, and then that'll probably be it. But I don't think the
you know what would be a would be a good idea for Microsoft to do, seeing what Sony and Nintendo did, where you essentially have to repurchase your content unless you want to do that workaround that Nelson said. Just like do one price license transfer for all your content. Like say you bought a bunch of stuff on Xbox 360 and you want to put it on your new Microsoft console. It'd be like, all right, here we go. Instead of having you repurchase everything that you got, digital games, Xbox Live games, Xbox games, and indie games, do like a $20 license content transfer, and we'll put it on the new Microsoft server, and you can just re-download it onto your new Microsoft console and go about your business. That would be the best solution that they can possibly do. They make money and they won't alienate a whole bunch of people that purchased a lot of stuff by having them repurchase their content.
But see, in my
Now,
opinion,
you know what? Someone like me, yeah, go ahead, Nelson.
Real quick though, in my opinion, if they do that, they're gonna still lose a lot of people. Honestly, they should just keep the same format how they have the licensing, where you have a duration where if you already use your license, you have to wait a year. Put a restriction limit like they done on us already, because you have to wait a full year to be able to renew or recopy your license to a different console. So they should just keep it like that. If you're gonna fucking end up paying an extra $20 fucking, you're just giving me more of the reason to not want to fucking put into the console, which I already had. It's pointless though.
Now, you know, just to add before we shift gears, Brother Noob always teases me about all the Xbox Live Arcade games that I have. Someone like me, I'm not buying all that stuff again. Hell no. Hell to the nizzle. No. Because that's a lot. And even though it's over a period of time, you know, if I have to, you know, kick out another $20 after the extensive library of live arcade content, games on demand, all that stuff, I shouldn't have to kick out more. If they keep the same Microsoft Xbox Live format, just like they do with Windows Live, you know what I mean? It should be like an easy migration if Xbox Live doesn't change. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, this is leading into the next topic, and for those of you who are non-Xbox fans, you can stop it from here. But for the Nintendo people, I want to give a shout out to Alpha Omega Sin and Steph to Death. Hopefully, the topic for the Nintendo side of things with the Mizzle Spotlight is something that you can enjoy. And please leave comments, and we would love to have you as guests on our show. But moving on to the next topic. Now, okay, if Xbox Live and the live integration or migration is to happen, the SOC chip, or dubbed System on a Chip, it's been almost all but confirmed that the new Xbox 720, aka the Durango, is supposed to have the Xbox 360, everything that's supposed to make that system run on a chip embedded onto the motherboard of the new system. Now, maybe that changes, you know, what. And me and Demizzle were talking about something. Somebody must be listening to this podcast or watching our show, because remember, Brother Noob, how we were saying that that's kind of a bad idea. We already have enough in terms of, all right, my entertainment center doesn't need more than it already has. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if the 360 chip is in the Durango, I can retire my 360 and still play the games, no problem. They're going the same route that the PlayStation 3 did when the first generations came out, where they played PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 games, no problem. You know? So I think that's the smartest thing that they could have done. Now, going in a different order, I'm going to give Demizzle the floor first, and we'll work around. But Demizzle, now with this information popping up, and when you had dug up the other information for the set-top box, you know, how do you think that Microsoft is addressing the backwards compatibility? Is it better off this way? Could it be that, you know, including the chip might make the system a little more expensive? Or who's to tell? But what are your thoughts on that, Demizzle?
All right. I'm going to have to renege on something I said, I think it was the last podcast about the set-top box. It's not really a set-top box. More information was just released about that. It's essentially a stripped-down Xbox 360 without a disk drive. It's essentially a Steam box, but connected to Xbox Live, where you can just download the games and whatnot. It's essentially their digital console.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They were going to do that this generation, but wow, it's funny how that thing's changed.
That's also coming this October, and it's more than likely going to be about $150. So that's what that is. But if anybody has a torpedo sound, they better make it now, because that was a torpedo fired by Microsoft crashing into the Sony ship. with the SOC chip, because honestly, even though it might make the system a little bit more expensive, a lot of people are going to want that because a lot of people have a very huge Xbox 360 libraries, in addition to like a bunch of AAA titles coming out at a new Microsoft machine launch that are going to be for the Xbox 360, like Grand Theft Auto 5. That's coming out in the same window. So Microsoft at E3 can go, hey, you know what? Even though Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming out for Xbox 360, you can play it on your new Microsoft system without having to repurchase it on your PlayStation 4. So that just killed it right there. Even though the system might be,
yeah, go ahead.
It just bitch smacked Sony right across the face. Like, what you gonna do now? What you gonna do now? What you gonna do now? And it's just,
what the heck, yo?
Slap me around and call me Susan. Yo,
he just straight up smacked him with it. Even though Sony might come out, hey, our system's gonna cost $400, but Microsoft's like, hey, you want to play your PlayStation 3 library? You're either gonna have to keep your PlayStation 3 or repurchase all your PlayStation 3 stuff on your PlayStation 4 with their cloud service. So you're gonna be paying more than $500 if you go that route. With us, it's $500. You can play 360 and the new Microsoft stuff. So that's a big game changer right there.
Okay. All right. Now, on your knees, what are your thoughts on Microsoft actually putting the chip for 360 inside the new console, making it fully backwards compatible?
Definitely a good thing. It does give them a much-needed leg up on Sony, considering they haven't even announced anything yet. So, it's allegedly... trying to find what I had here. Yeah, it's definitely a good thing. That way, all your stuff will carry over, assuming they're going to make that easy to do. But yeah, I don't have too much on it other than it's a good thing, and hopefully this will make people overlook that always online nonsense, because if they're still going to do that, that's definitely going to be a big hurdle for them to overcome.
Wait, I have something on that. I have some information on that.
Yeah, I was about to give you the floor. Yeah, go ahead, Demizzle.
It is going to be always online, but it isn't. And here's the thing. With the new Microsoft machine, you'll be able to install the game completely and leave it on the hard drive without the disk and play it like that. And it has to be online all the time to verify the game, that you own the game. But if you don't install the game completely, you don't have to be always online. That's how that's going to work.
Interesting. That's new info.
But wait,
now,
hold on.
Yeah, go ahead, Shinmore.
Okay, now I just want to not counter that, but I thought they said that the game has to be installed to the hard drive to play it.
That was in other reports.
That's if you want to install it 100% and play it directly off the hard drive. It'll have to be always online to verify that you own the game, that you're not, like, say, getting it from Redbox to rent the game and then installing it and then just like, okay, boom. What it'll do is, like, you'll install the game 100%, but you keep the disc in, and it verifies that you're the owner of this game. You have the disc, but then it'll play 100%. Then it'll play 100%.
So wait, you have that?
You have the option to install it. What's up?
No, I was going to say, so it's on a hard drive, but the disc still has to be in the...
Yeah, to verify.
I got it.
You know what? Can I add something to that? Yeah, because that's going to counter a lot of people running around and printing games on various hard drives. So that I agree with, okay? However, you do know that currently exists with games on demand for Xbox Live right now.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Yeah, because if you, for instance, I have Call of Duty Black Ops, the first one, downloaded games on demand style, right? Now, if I log out of my profile and my brother-in-law logs into my system, he can't play that game because it's locked to my profile. So he has to be, I have to be online or logged into my profile in order for that game on demand to work. So I think what Demiso's saying is it might have some weight because it currently exists to a degree. So it would make no sense if you can go ahead and install the game 100%, borrow it from somebody, and bam, and the companies are going to lose a lot of money. You know what I mean? The online verification I agree with. But in order, if you're going to run it off the disk, leave it like that, then, you should be good to go.
That's the plan. Like, if you're just planning on running on a disk, like with limited installation like you do now on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, you don't need to be online all the time because it's reading information off the disk that it needs to play. So it's verifying that you have the game as it's reading the information off the disk. So you don't need to be online to do it that way. So that a lot of panic was alleviated when I read that. And I was like, okay, I can see that. That's a good thing right there. Because I can see some people.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I can see some people like myself, like all of us here pretty much have Xbox Live, and it's not going to be an issue for us to be online all the time. So I can see us putting the game 100% on the console and having it run off the hard drive with the online verification. But for people who live in areas with spotty internet connections,
like Brother Noob,
that choose to do the limited disk install and run the game essentially off the disk with some information on the hard drive and not require an internet connection, that's great. That's like blowing a big rumor out of the water.
Now, with that being said, New Fighting Order fans, just so you know, this is just information we're collecting. We won't truly know until Microsoft gives the final, statement on that. So, us as video game journalists, it's our job to try to decipher all the information that leaks out and just to, have it here in this forum. So, just to make sure that some people aren't saying, hey, you said this and you said that. I mean, even Demiso retracted something once new information came out. You know what I mean? As we get it, we sit here and we'll try to decipher it as best we can so that maybe we can predict some things, okay? But, one other topic. Actually, I wanted to touch lightly on something before we shut down. How many of you guys remember XNA Studio for Xbox Live?
Wow.
I downloaded it.
Wow, that's awesome.
I have it.
I remember.
Now, you see, that to me was a failure because you had to have Xbox Live and you had to purchase an annual membership to create games and put it on to Xbox Live and what have you. I think Microsoft learned their lesson how that's, to me, seemed like a failure. You didn't hear anything about it. No press, nothing pushing that, okay? You got a lot of the indie games that, that you see on Xbox Live for purchase for like 80 points developed through that program.
Alex just dipped. Wow. Let's get him back.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Technical difficulties. He just logged out. Hold on. Let's try to get him back in here.
There he is.
I'm not sure what happened. Something happened with the Uvu. It shut down.
You know what happened? The Locks is watching this stream and they want their look back.
Wait, Nelson, we still on the air?
Yeah, we're still on the air.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm back in my spot.
Not really in your order spot, but you're still here.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to, because, the computer seems to be overheating, so I have to be careful. But you see, the new Xbox is actually going to be running on Windows 8, and Windows 8 is going to be integrated to the PC where you can actually get the Windows app development kit and actually put whatever you create onto the new system, similar to XNA Studio style. So those of you indie guys that want like direct apps, you can put it on the 360, 720, and Windows 8, which is a good thing. Now, Shinwa already messed around with Windows 8. It's good and it's bad, but the good thing is, rumors have it where it's integrated so much into what's going to be the new console. My sister and I went to Best Buy, and we saw Metal Gear Rising on one of the laptops. We're like, what the heck? They're like, play Metal Gear Rising. We hit the button. It says, make sure you have your console turned on to play. So it looks like you'll be able to stream back and forth with a laptop or wherever you are in the house with the new system and possibly, updates to the 360. So that's something interesting. I just wanted to touch lightly on that before we shut down. But, Nelson, what are your thoughts on that, the possibility?
The possibility of that actually happening, that's actually pretty good for, developers who are trying to, like, get into the gaming community and try to, like, actually put out their product out there and so forth. But the whole Windows 8 integration thing, not many people are still fond of Windows 8 because a lot of people still now using Windows 7. I'm still currently using Windows 7. I'm pretty sure everyone in this room is either using Windows 7 or probably XP.
Yes, sir.
So it's definitely is going to be a little bit hard to make the jump when it does become like as a default installation, and if it doesn't like consider like a rollback feature that we can fuck around with it and whatnot, because it has no desktop. That's what I'm hearing. It has no normal desktop. You have to actually hit a certain window to perform a desktop action.
To go into the desktop.
Yeah. It's stupid.
Mm-hmm. But they're bringing it back in 8.1. Windows 8.1. They're putting the start button back, which is just
it's supposed to be
crazy
just like
to me.
a 7. It's going to look just like 7 from what I'm told.
Okay.
All right, but listen up, guys. Nelson, you're going to take lead. I had to step out and run an errand. But New Fighting Order fans, I will see you next time on the podcast. Ew. Yeah, family thing. But Nelson, you got the lead, and I'll see you guys next time on the show. Carry on, fellas.
Okay.
Get out of here. Just get out of here.
All right, while Alex makes his departure, do you guys have anything else?
And he didn't log out.
Whatever. He's going to log out eventually. His computer sucks. But do you guys have anything else to comment based on what Alex just recently said?
Well,
No,
I do like the... Oh, go ahead, Newt.
No, I was going to go back to the backwards compatibility and the set-top box Xbox, but go ahead. I'll do that last.
All right, so does anyone else?
Well, about the XNA thing, I did like that because, like, me and a friend, like, pulled some money together to get it, and we thought we were going to be developers, and we sucked, so we didn't put anything out. But I do like that it does give people the chance to make stuff on their computers, then transfer it over to the new Microsoft's platform pretty seamlessly. So I do like that aspect.
Yeah, seems like a pretty good feature. I don't know why this guy left his camera on. People could see inside his house, like, for real.
Hey, yo. Oh, my God.
He left his closet open. He has, like, what is that, a shirt? 2 shirts on his chair, his wooden chair.
Chill. Got that security camera on his ceiling, yo. What is that?
D-block, yo.
Yo, that's a security camera, yo. Dang.
Oh my God.
Nah, but I was gonna talk about backwards compatibility. Hopefully they do that. Hopefully everything we're hearing about this chip being true. Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird. The always online thing will be weird because I have to always be online to play from the hard drive. But if I decide not to play on the hard drive, I don't always have to be online. So my question would be, what is the purpose of... I really still don't see the purpose of always online, because right now I can play a game installed on my 360, but my disc has to be in there, and it'll occasionally read the disc so I can continue to play, but I don't have to be online. So why not just do the same thing?
Well,
you see what I'm saying?
In my opinion, the what I told Alex earlier before I got on the podcast, I figure the way how they're trying to implement it is like the always online feature. Think of it as like as an example, when we had the older Xbox, we had the regular Xbox Core, which is basically like 4 gigs almost, which is basically like, it doesn't come with a hard drive and stuff like that. And you have your standard bundle, and then you have the heavy memory bundle. I think of the always online feature just as like a standard Xbox bundle with no hard drive, nothing, and it only has like a cloud storage. That's why they recommend that you always stay online, so it's able to constantly flow that memory towards your console and always recognize the IDs and the licensing and stuff like that. That kind of makes sense. But for the standard console that we're getting with the 720 or the Durango, you don't always have to be online because you're getting the full kit. But that's just my opinion of why they might be doing the always online thing, because it might be like a starter pack Xbox version for people.
Oh, you're talking about like a. Okay, I guess, I don't know. It's still weird to me.
It is. It is. That's just.
We'll find out when they had the official conference or whatever.
Definitely.
Dang, I had something else to say. Now I can't remember.
Well, if anything, does anyone else have any final words while Noop finds out what he tries to remember?
No, I'm good.
No.
You're good.
No, I'm good too.
All right.
You're good.
All right. Coming up on the next Battle Versus will be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so just stay tuned for that. I'm starting to edit it together. I'm still getting more footage. If people would play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with me, I'll have that footage, and then I'll put it out.
All right, that's good to know. Also, I would like to make a quick announcement to you viewers. Once again, I've been hearing a little buzz that people's been liking the whole Tuesday tournament little events where we get together and casually play like Street Fighter or, a fighting game essentially. I would like to invite the viewers to be able to play with us, or even have bi-weekly tournaments where we could probably give you guys Microsoft points or PlayStation Network points and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. We're keeping it under like a little bit of advisement. We're just trying to see what ideas the viewers would want, whether if they want to pay for their entry fee, let the prize grow and you get a bigger payout. Would you prefer just a simple Microsoft points card? Whether you prefer a game, you let me or Alex know, and we'll take it under advisement. But that's definitely something we're considering. And I guess that wraps up this podcast as of April 25th of 2013. This is, Nelson, or Mugen as you know me. You also have the co-host Alex, which you see nothing but his room. Then, thanks to Shinwar, On Your Knees, Demizzle, and Newt for joining this podcast, making us entertaining as usual. And like I said, any last words before I shut down?
Oh, one more thing. Shout out to Danae Shogeki, because without him, he's going to be helping me out with the D-Man Plays thing. So be on the lookout for that as well, where I play some classic games from the 80s and 90s arcade, as well as like early consoles and even PlayStation 1. So be on the lookout for that as well.
All right, that sounds good. Well, all right, that wraps it up. I'm not going to do the whole Alex Lexus thing where he names all the company names and all that. I'm just going to say see you next time and tune into our podcast every Thursday. Later.